Okay, so you hear the term AI pretty much everywhere these days, but have you ever stopped to wonder what it's actually learning from? We're going to dive into the absolute foundation of how all this stuff works. It's something called training data, and you can basically think of it as the stack of textbooks an AI has to study before it can get smart.
I mean, it's a question a lot of us have, right? You've heard people say, oh, the AI learns from data. But what does that even mean? It sounds kind of like magic, doesn't it? How on earth does a computer program just learn? Well, the answer is actually pretty straightforward. It all boils down to this thing: training data. And what is that? In a nutshell, it's just a huge, and I mean huge, collection of examples. It's kind of like how a student crams for a math test by doing hundreds of practice problems. And AI does the same thing, but with thousands or even millions of examples to figure out how to do its job.
All right, to really wrap our heads around this, let's forget about computers and algorithms for a second. The best way to get it is to think about how we first learned about the world, back when we were kids.
So picture this. You're trying to teach a little kid how to sort the laundry. Now, you're not going to hand them a 20-page manual on the physics of a sock versus a t-shirt, right? No way. That would just be confusing. Instead, you just show them. You hold up a sock and go, hey, this one goes in the sock pile. Then you grab a shirt, and this goes in the shirt pile. They see it, they take a guess, you give them a little feedback. Yep, you got it, or, ooh, close, try that one again. And after a while, they just start to get it. They see the pattern all on their own.
And believe it or not, that is almost exactly how an AI learns. It's the very same idea. A kid learns from examples of socks and shirts, and AI learns to spot spam email from examples too. We don't give it a bunch of rules. We just feed it millions of emails that real people have already marked as spam or not spam. The AI just churns through all of those examples and starts to figure out the patterns for itself.
And the really cool thing is, you see the results of this every single day. This isn't some futuristic thing. It's already working right under our noses. Let's talk about where. Okay, ever wonder how your phone's photo apps just knows how to group all the pictures of your best friend together? It's not magic. It's because it was trained on tons and tons of images of faces. Or how about Netflix? How does it seem to know exactly what show you're going to want to binge next? Well, its AI has studied millions of viewing habits from people just like us. And Google Translate? It's so good because it was trained on billions, with a B, of sentences that were already translated by real human beings.
And this gets to a really key point. The more examples an AI gets to see, the better it performs. It's a pretty simple rule. That's why Google Translate is amazing at flipping between, say, English and Spanish. There's just a mountain of training data available. But if you try to translate between two less common languages, you might notice it's a little clunky. And that's usually just because the AI hasn't seen enough examples to really learn the ropes yet.
So, okay, more data is usually better. But there's actually something that's way, way more important than just the sheer amount of data. It's an idea that's captured in a classic saying you hear all the time in the tech world.
And here it is. This is probably the single most important rule to remember about all of this: garbage in, garbage out. It means exactly what it sounds like. The quality of the training data is absolutely everything. You can have the fanciest AI program in the world, but you can't build a strong house on a shaky foundation. If the examples you feed the AI are wrong or biased or just plain incomplete, well, the AI is going to be wrong, biased, and incomplete too.
And this isn't just a technical problem. It has very real consequences. The examples an AI learns from literally shape its entire worldview, and that includes its blind spots. For instance, if you train an AI on historical data that's full of past biases, guess what? The AI might just learn to repeat those same unfair patterns. Or if it only ever sees examples from one group of people, it's probably not going to work very well for everybody else. The training data, in the end, defines the AI's limitations.
So look, this isn't just some random technical detail for coders to worry about. Understanding this basic idea about training data actually gives you, as a user, a lot of power. It's a really big deal. So what can you actually do with this information? I mean, you don't need to know how to build an AI to be a smart user of one. It all comes down to one thing. You can start asking better questions.
So next time you're using an AI system, and it could be for anything, from a job application to a simple recommendation, you can have these questions in the back of your mind. What was this thing trained on? Who was in charge of picking those examples? And maybe the biggest question of all, does the data it learned from actually represent people like me and my community? Just asking these questions is incredibly powerful.
So really, the main takeaway is this. Thinking about training data is a lot like knowing the ingredients in your food, right? You don't have to be a professional chef, but knowing what went into the dish helps you judge if it's any good. It's the same idea here. So just be a curious AI user. The more we all ask what's going on behind the scenes,
the better we can all navigate this new world. Thanks for tuning in.